Joining me now, wall expert James Carafano, who's also VP of National Security and Foreign Policy at the Heritage Foundation. All right, James, the Breitbart did a great report on walls all over the world that work. I want to just start with a few, for example. Tell me a little bit about Hungary's border fence. Right now, it's up and effective. That's what we're hearing.
Right. So walls aren't moral or immoral, and walls are good when they fit the purpose, and that's the right question. So Hungary is a great example, because the problem there is we had these massive flows of illegal refugees, and a lot of them were doing kind of country hunting. If they didn't like the country they were assigned, they would just move to another country.
Country shopping.
And what the Hungarians, yeah,
right.
Exactly. So what the Hungarians said is, we don't want that. And so they basically put a fence, and literally just people went to other countries and they stayed out of Hungary.
There you go. All right.
It worked perfectly.
One of the other examples, and people bring this up all the time, is a lot of these politicians who are against the wall have walls at their own property. Look at Gracie Mansion here in New York City. Mayor Bill DeBlasio actually built his wall higher so he could, well, I heard from some sources the reason he extended the wall was because he likes to smoke a little bit and didn't want people walking by and seeing that. Those walls work to protect politicians, do they not?
Actors have them, famous people, rich people have them. They serve two purposes: privacy and public safety. Look, if you're a rich, wealthy person, somebody might want to kidnap you. Remember the kidnapping of the Lindbergh baby? Lindbergh probably wanted a wall. But also it's about
I don't
privacy.
think anybody wants to kidnap Bill DeBlasio. If they did, they'd give him back after 5 minutes.
Yeah. But Bloomberg's a different category.
That's true. That's true.
But also, people just like to walk up and stare in your house. So for people like Bill Gates and Zuckerberg, the walls make perfect sense around your property. That's what they're designed for.
And one of the famous examples that the president likes to bring up often is the wall in Israel. Tell us about the wall in Israel. When did that go up, and was that for so the Palestinians couldn't come over and launch attacks?
So the wall in Israel is designed to prevent wars. If the Palestinians essentially can export violence to Israel anytime they want to, then essentially they've got a red button that they can cause a war anytime they want. And so what the Israelis wanted to do was to create a situation where you couldn't have violence essentially whenever the Palestinians and Hamas wanted that. So they're designed so you can't flood across the border. They're also designed so you can't smuggle terrorists across the border. So, and since Israel is a very, very small country, a heavy, comprehensive border security like that, it's perfect for that.
And lastly,
it's worked fabulously.
One of my personal favorites, Chappaqua, where the Clintons live, they've built security structures and fences and walls up around their property. They've increased the size of those and added to it. Obviously, very important to protect former president and former Secretary of State.
Right. Well, again, same thing. One is public safety. I mean, yahoos go after everybody. We've had, presidents and famous people assassinated. And also it's the issue of privacy. Everybody wants to walk up and, pick a flower from the ex-president's garden. So it makes perfect for them. And that's what gets back to the Trump thing, is if the wall fits a purpose, right, and in that case it does, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And you missed my favorite one.
What's that?
The Vatican, right?
Oh, the Vatican also has one. Of course.
So, right, the Vatican had a wall because of pirates. So in the 9th century, they got tired of being raided, so they put these walls up. And then there's a lot of political violence in Italy over the years.
Tell the Pope that walls are immoral and see what he says. All right, James.
And here's the deal.
I gotta run. Okay. And thank you for the wall debriefing. I really appreciate it.
Good being with you.
All right.